I am glad to be home. What you doing?
I'm writing a letter to Michael.
You are? You're a good sister. So, I'm sorry. I thought I'd be home for dinner.
I make granola bars in case you're hungry.
What a nutritious dinner. Thank you.
How's community service?
Community service was 3 divorces, 2 thefts, and Dr. Spaulding called and you have to have another session with your father.
No way am I going back into therapy with Dad.
Yes way you are. You need to do the work necessary to get through this and beyond it.
I already am.
And you're going to solitary. Get him out of here.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Who the hell is Carter? Why do you think Jason killed the guy?
This isn't your business. Take the prisoner out.
No, I'm sorry, but you can't.
Ooh, so sorry, mate. Better luck next time, man.
Engaging in a bit of private enterprise?
Well, club's closed while Luke and Tracy are away, but my man needs income.
Even if that man has a few unseen aces up his sleeve?
Paris, I thought, I am honest as the day is long. Does the lady play?
No, I win.
Oh, a woman after my own heart.
Actually, I'm here about Luke. He called to say that he and Tracy have been released from the clutches of Elena Cassadine.
Wait, Lucky was right. Are they okay?
Back to their battling selves, they are on the way home from Greece right now, in separate planes.
Par for the course. Why did Luke call you, though? Is he hoping for some consolation upon his return?
On the contrary, Luke made it perfectly clear that I am to make myself scarce.
So Tracy's on another jealous rampage, huh?
I get the feeling this is more than business as usual. I get the feeling that Luke and Tracy might be splitting up for good.
I do realize that the therapy session with your dad did not go that well. It's a little rough.
Mom, he's in denial.
All the more reason why you shouldn't be. The issues that you're bringing up in there are hard for him to address, so you have to...
Dad wasn't addressing anything. He just sat there doing his typical thing of claiming he's right and everyone else is wrong. It's Johnny's fault for saying those things about Dad in court. It's the therapist's fault for wanting us to talk about it. It's everyone's fault but his. So, fine. Moving on. Dad's perfect.
Let me ask you something. Is it possible that, in part, your relationship or lack thereof with your father had something to do with the choices you made with Kiefer? Okay, so then you need to work on this with your dad.
I'm trying to explain there's no way to work through anything. He justifies his abuse of Claudia, which he refuses to even admit was abuse.
How about we just give him credit for being willing to discuss this with you in therapy?
He wasn't discussing. He was defending how he treated Claudia and then getting mad when I didn't roll over and say, "Poor Dad, I understand," so he could walk out without feeling guilty.
How about we don't rush to judgment?
Why are you defending him?
Because he's your father. That's why.
You're making excuses like I did with Kiefer.
You're damn right I'm telling you a
Detective Dante Falconeri, you take Jason Morgan to solitary. Michael Corinthos will be left alone and unprotected.
Mr. Morgan was aware of that possibility when he chose to kill another inmate.
Well, I want the details of the case before you take him anywhere.
I don't have time for this, Detective Falconeri.
Come on, who is Carter, and why would Jason kill him knowing it would cause Michael more problems?
Get Morgan out of here. Your visit is over.
When you were growing up, I tried to protect you from your father and then also not try to cast him in too harsh of a light. That's walking a very fine line, and I think it's safe to say that I failed.
You were right to protect me from Dad. He was violent, domineering, and angry.
But he also happens to love you, for whatever that's worth. Honey, I know Johnny Sakara said a lot of bad things about him, and it's stuck in your head. But what you have to know is they weren't all accurate.
Yes, they are. Dad was abusive to Claudia.
That may be true. But what you need to know as well is that Claudia was sick and unbalanced and cruel and vindictive in her own right.
Johnny said the same thing, that his sister was messed up. She did a lot of damage. I mean, she got Michael shot. But she didn't deserve how Dad treated her, and I can't understand why you're defending him.
Understanding behavior is not the same as condoning it, my love.
You want me to think the best of Dad because he is my dad, and you were with him once. Just like I wanted to think the best of Kiefer. But what Kiefer did to me was wrong, and what Dad did was wrong, and he has to pay for that, and someday he will.
Michael,
Why'd you get back?
I was visiting Jason, and the warden came in and got him. It seems he thinks that Jason had something to do with killing this guy Carter. Do you know anything about that?
What's the warden gonna do with Jason?
I don't know. He's talking to him right now. Michael, look, I know you don't trust me, but there's nothing you can't tell me that I won't find out on my own. So why don't you just tell me what happened? What did this guy Carter do to Jason that made him want to kill the guy?
You must have some
So, Luke actually told you to stay away?
in no uncertain terms.
I mean, he loves Tracy, but let's face it, he lights up like the Chinese New Year every time you walk into the room. So if he can resist you, things must be bad.
I would agree.
So, where will you be hiding out?
Well, I would be leaving town, but I do have some unfinished business, and it's nice to know that I can find a backup hero when I need one.
I'm your man. What's your game?
I'm not sure you could handle it.
Oh, hey, my reputation may not be squeaky clean, but let's face it, neither is Luke's. And if you trust him, you can trust me.
Well, that's true,
But there we go, I rest my case. So what's the problem?
Well, it's about money.
Oh, but see, I love money.
Yeah, all locked up, but I can't get to it, and I need a good man to help me.
Good man, at your service.
Unfortunately, you're a little bit late.
Well, if Dad's unavailable, then who else could you have in mind?
Oh, Jax, there you are. Thank you so much for coming.
I'm gonna resist a phone call from my beautiful ex-wife. What do you need?
Where do I start?
Hey, you need to get a message to Luke.
Why, what's happened now?
Well, Tracy called from a plane and insisted that Alice dump all of Luke's stuff on the lawn and to be ready and waiting with a can of gasoline.
This is a bad fight.
Bad enough to be the end of Luke and Tracy.
No, Luke will find some way to turn it around and make it the beginning.
Dante's not the kind of guy who cheats.
You have every reason not to trust me. But the warden's got Jason right now, and he's threatening to put him in solitary, so I need to know what happened with this Carter guy.
Why?
Well, maybe I can help.
You don't give a damn about Jason.
No, I don't. I give a damn about you, and as long as you're in here, Jason's gonna be your watchdog, so why don't you give me something I can go on?
There was this guard that was hassling me. Ryan Carter stepped in and helped. I thought he was okay, but he kept saying I owed him something. I thought he'd back off, but he wouldn't. And that night when Jason showed up, Carter came after me, and I ended up with bruises and stuff.
So Jason killed the guy?
Well, Carter was scum. Anyone could have killed him.
Well, the warden seems to think it was Jason.
Oh, it wasn't.
How do you know?
Because Jason wasn't me.
I've brought in some of your fellow inmates to help sort this out. You're on janitorial this month, right?
Yes, sir.
You see this inmate anywhere near the showers around the time Carter got stabbed?
No, sir.
You're on laundry. And you're on kitchen. You both have clear views of the halls. Did either of you see this inmate when Carter was killed?
No, sir.
Get him out. Carter was not a nice guy. No surprise your fellow inmates would lie to cover for you.
Sir, you have no proof that I killed Carter.
We'll see what the investigation turns up. In the meantime, you're going to solitary.
Please, I'm asking you not to do that. I will guarantee my good behavior if you let me stay with Michael.